Hey everybody, welcome to the Pull-Up Experience, episode 66. We here today is our 1 year anniversary. We cannot forget about that. We so excited to celebrate. We got a great guest to sit down with us today. For all of us, this is for all of our businesses.
Absolutely.
From starting from brand new to if you already been out here but you want to reach more people, you need to get your marketing game together. Like I started with Kev, I'm still rocking with Kev. So without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to Kevin Conwell of 3PK Marketing. He has so much to talk about. He has his hands in a little bit of everything, traveling around the world. Traveling around the world. Yeah, if you don't know Kev, come on. You got to know Kev. So I want you to introduce yourself to the people, Kev. Let them know who you are.
So what's going on? So now, Mr. Wake Hustle Grind, tatted everywhere. Marketing company, as you know. Really don't put myself too much on the camera all the time. Just happen to be on podcasts this past couple of them. But it's more so about the brands, how to get started, and putting your stuff out there so you can feed your family and make some money.
So tell people exactly how you got started. What got you started in marketing? Because when I reached out to you, you were highly recommended when I first started my business. Like, oh, if you want your website to be dope, if you want your marketing to be dope, you have to reach out to Kev. So tell people how you got started and how you made this name for yourself.
Well, I started in college. It was funny. Like, the first 3 years started in college, I wanted to do parties. And funny thing was, we're doing the parties and, you got to go to a graphic designer, you need to do this and be marketing for all these people. And we throwing parties and I'm like, wait a minute, first starting out, you're not going to do good. Like, I'm not going to say we were a success first starting out. That's not the case, but I don't give up for nothing. So I learned my learning curve. It took to about 5th or 6th event where I saw a niche, like, hey, I'm marketing, I'm getting this result, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. While I'm in college, I'm like, hey, maybe I should take a marketing while I'm doing this. So I'm taking the classes while I'm applying this stuff in real life. So now I'm seeing certain results in street marketing, street promotions. So fast forward, it was 3 of us. That's why it was 3. It was originally 3 Kings Productions when we first started. And at school, I kind of we're still cool, but switched around some things. I want to say that, and I just switched the name to 3KP Marketing. It sounds way more professional, but it started with 3 Kings. Basically, while in school, I know what stuck with me was a lot of the companies were coming in trying to recruit us to come work for their firm, and I'm like, I don't want to go work for you. I just want to learn what the hell I need to learn. So the funniest thing ever, I can recall, like, I remember asking one of the professors, like, hey, I'm doing my own thing, this and that. And they're like, hey, there's no black marketing companies. And I don't know if she was saying it like a shot, but I took it as a shot. But she was just telling me there's no black marketing companies. And I'm like, oh, shit. I need to be on this because if it ain't no black, I know how to market to me. I know how to market to us. Right. So funny thing is, I was like the only black kid in my class, and all the kids that were from different races or whatever, they all got picked up and they went to AdCon. Funny thing ever, they go out, get an internship, and they're working there. I didn't get an internship. Started my own thing, but went full force when I got out. I see them a year later. They all kicked out because AdCom done brought the new next of interns in from the other one. And they looking at me like, well, I'm trying to do my own thing now. I'm like, I told you should have been doing it
in the beginning.
So that's like pretty much in a nutshell, like how I got started in school. In a nutshell, like roundabout that.
So that was basically like your push, like, hey, you telling me it's no black marketing companies. That's it. That's what it's about to be about.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like everybody needs to know. I mean, everybody needs marketing for their projects and products. Like it's been around since the biblical times. They probably was walking around with little hey, come see Jesus at. Like you had to get it out there, so
yeah.
So it got to be somebody out there to push it.
Yeah. So I was saying earlier that I reached out to you for my website, and not only did you come in and you gave me, I basically kind of told you my vision and what I wanted, but you had so many jewels that you dropped for me to get started. Like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. This is a dope idea, and gave me a lot of jewels and a lot of things to work with from the beginning. And I think that that's important, especially for a new business starting off, to be able to, like, we sat down and had some meetings, and it wasn't just about the website, it was about you helping.
Yeah, it's so a lot of people don't understand, like, you had the website before you had the shop. Mm-hmm. So the business is the website. So either you're going to pay rent for your web space, or you're going to pay rent for your brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. And you still need to push traffic to, like, both. And if you don't do both, it's like, ain't nobody going to know you exist.
Nobody knows you exist.
You're just going to Google right past you. Like, so yeah, you had two websites at first. I think it was the 2U wines and the 2U wines spelled out. Mm-hmm. So you had the two of them at first. So you had one landing page that linked into another landing page, but it was like interactive. You had like two of them, 2 for 1.
Because I added more, and then you were able to make it so that when you click on more, like, you know, about us is exactly what it is, about us, and then it came into a different page.
Did it have like wine pouring or something? I'm trying to remember. Like,
you had the wine pouring. Yes, you had wine pouring, and then you had the about us linked them to the store and the wine tasting.
And that was some years ago, and that was before people even really could get motion on that site. Because you had the quick time. Because you had that quick time. You had to be able to. For people who design, they know you got to bust it down into like a GIF. You got to take the video, slow the frames down, bust it into a GIF, and then upload it, and then it'll look like a motion, but it'll work on the phone. Because if you have it too big, the file too big, it's gonna buffer. So you open up, it's just gonna run.
Yeah.
And like, I know Marquis not here, so look, you know what I'm saying. But for all those who don't know whatnot, so like you said a lot with that. Cause I know, like, Steve always saying to me all the time about how certain things don't look good on certain frame, or certain, like, some on laptop might look good on my phone or whatnot. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs think that it's a one size fit all when it's not. You know what I'm saying? What advice would you give to somebody if they do want to create a website or create? I know websites, apps, I'm not saying they're the same thing, but like the same principle still applies, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I got, if they want a free website, I got a promo link, like push start domains. I mean, I don't think it's free, but like, I think it's like $20 for the year, and you build your own site on push start, and you can go in there and play on everything. They power it through GoDaddy. Like, it's a link I got a partnership with them, and they let me send it out to people who want to just go on and just do it. So what I do now, because I'm so busy, like if somebody hit me, I just don't have the time to dedicate. So I'm like, hey, here's a link, go on, have at it. You can figure your way through it, and if you don't, you come back and holler at me.
Well, listen, I had it in the show notes, y'all, so y'all know where to go, whatnot, for all those individuals who haven't started your website yet. So appreciate that, by the way.
You were the first person that I knew that had the QR code.
I had the QR code since like 2005.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So when we had these conversations, you were like, you should have a QR code, and I'm like, what is this man talking about? And he like, you know how you have a product at the store, you gotta scan it. People can scan it. Your website, everything pop up, and I'm like, that's a dope idea. From that, like, I just saw you all over the place with the QR code. I see him when I'm here, I see him when I'm there, and we all know how much that's taken off.
Yeah, I see a lot of copycats, but it's cool. I know.
we know who started it. We know who ended up getting it.
No, but I didn't went from, like, me personally, like New York, Chicago, LA, all over, like just stamping the Wake Hustle Grind with the scan. That's it. Like, that's, you see it, scan it. That's it. Logo, brand, scan. You see everything. You enter the email list and everything.
That's dope.
I'm like, all over.
It is. That's that.
I know. I was at the gas station. I seen Wake Hustle Girl. I'm like, where? I was on Lakeshore or whatnot, and like that's so. You would think it's like minuscule, but the fact that the logos did the brand is there, people recognize it. They know what's
so what's so cool like today, which I got to see like, which is so dope. I had to go to a meeting, and I'm doing some real estate stuff. I'm at the real estate meeting, so I get a meeting down at the land bank. You know, get a director, see him throwing my hat. He like cool. Then everybody in there wants the hat, like, cause they seen the car pull up. And I'm like, they're like, I hope you got more hats. I was like, no, I just brought one for you as a gift, like, whatever. So, funny thing was, like, everybody jumping. I'm like, man, I want to get a hat and a shirt. And I'm like, man, I just walked in for 2 seconds. But then I leave and go to Starbucks and head home. And I see, like,
all these orders coming through.
No, not even that. Like, I'm just saying, from one spectrum to the next. I just went to a corporate setting. And now, you know, like the, I don't want to call them like the bums, but you know, like homeless people on the street. So the one guy I always see down there, I think his name is Dave. Like, he always down there at the Starbucks. I'm always getting him a Starbucks. So he see me coming around the corner. He running with the car like, Hustle, I know you got me, baby. Like, he put up. And I'm like, dang, like I just left from here. They happy to see me, but then like, you know, so I got people rocking with me from on both ends of the spectrum. It's like cool to have that. So it's not like it's like a one fit all brand, because we all aspiring to be better than what we are from last year. So that's pretty much what the brand is about. But to see it like in full circle today was kind of like dope. Like, oh man, okay. They're messing with me on the corporate level.
They're messing with you in the streets.
Messing with me in the streets.
That's what's up, man. So I got a question. So let me ask you this, because our audience is, like I said, is comprised of newly entrepreneurs, people who are stagnant in entrepreneurship, and people who, you know what I'm saying, who want to take to the next level. What do you feel like are the biggest misconceptions when it comes down to marketing for your business?
Well, one, people think like you're just gonna put a dollar amount and see a return on investment. Is you got to be able to do things you don't want to do. When you don't want to do it, you got to spend the money you don't want to spend. When you don't want to spend it, and it's no return on investment. Like, you just gotta spend on your marketing. Like, period. Like, you just do. Like, I can't even. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I mean, return on investment. I can even say, okay, podcast. Like last week, was busy, had something to do. Only time I had a quick little break, ran and do a podcast, ran and did one. Left, went to go see a client today. I'm waiting for a client. This old white lady was like, hey, getting out the car, seen you on a podcast. I'm like, damn, I did it like last week. Like, dang. She's like, yeah, I seen the car, then I seen this, and I seen the billboard. Aren't you the guy on the... I'm like, dang. So when you spending over time, it's compound interest. When you putting in the work, you're not gonna get it immediately, but over time, like if you put money in your brand and money in yourself, money in your business, you should see a return on investment if you're doing it right.
That's a bomb up right there. So,
speaking of that, yes, you did have a billboard. I text you right away, like, okay, Kev.
No, I did find a way to make a mistake on the billboard, but it did work too. It worked two folds, because I got the 404 number because we got a store in Atlanta. So when I posted it on Instagram, I got a lot of people from Atlanta that hit me up because we got a spot in Atlanta. Man, I'm crushing. Atlanta calling me, but Cleveland is like not really calling me. Like, they texting me like, is this a scam? So my one partner was like, yeah, man, everybody ain't seen the billboard, but 404 is an Atlanta number, so people think it's a scam because they scam in Atlanta. So people will like see it, and then they would just hit me on Instagram like, is this a scam? Is this a real number? Why do you have 404 up there? Wow. Okay, I gotta switch that.
I want to talk about marketing, and this is for, you know, small businesses. If you feel like you've gotten to a point where you posting on Instagram and, you know, you putting your product out there and you just feel like, okay, I'm not reaching any new people. This is where I feel like marketing is super important. It's super important from beginning to end, but if you are in that position where you feel like you're stagnant and you're not reaching to, just like you said, you have to pay for the marketing. You have to do it in order to reach more people. Even if you're using the ads, the IG ads, the Facebook ads, if you notice, it's still kind of coming in as the same people. The hashtags, it's still kind of coming in as the same people. If you get that marketing, I've seen businesses that didn't have marketing and they got their marketing and they go from 105 likes to 1,005 likes. I've seen their businesses pick up. I feel like it's almost the only way you can go from one level to the next, unless you just are in the right room with the right people and you get it that way. But other than that, you got to put your product out and you have to spend for that marketing because it's everything.
Excuse me.
So
I had COVID. I took my test.
So I know you've been traveling everywhere. So are you still doing marketing? Are you still making websites, or what are you doing when you're traveling?
So now I partner with Blot. That's BBLOTT.org. They're a non-profit organization, and what I partner with Blot is, so now I've took over their marketing. And now we partner to where, say for instance, you want to come in, you want to talk to me. You fill out the form on Canly. You pay for the consultation. You go on, it's $250 for the consultation. You go on, they'll sit down with you for 2 hours. They'll get everything I need from you to get started on stuff when you're ready to get your marketing budget. But we actually get your business together. So we figure out if you need a nonprofit, we get everything established within the business before you even go through the marketing process. And then we have courses and classes you can buy and get into to show you and teach you how to do what you're doing in your classes. So now it's more so the educational piece. Yeah, I still have people that call me for one-offs. I need a website, this and that. Yeah, they go through the system, they get the form. They go on KevinConwell.com or WakeHustleGrind.com, fill it out and get started. But I have my system now where they coming in and they're going through a system and people before they even see me.